You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of season 2, the Dialed In Show. Good morning, Steven. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. It's Black History Month. We are Black all year long, but we celebrate.
I thought you was about to say. Well, you did kind of just say. I thought you said it's Black History Month. We're black. Like,
Yeah. So we set aside the month of February to celebrate Black excellence, but I see you have on your HBCU.
do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been up to the first few days of the shortest month in the year?
Why you gotta put it like that? Look, we've accomplished a lot in this Black History Month. You know, Beyonce finally won Album of the Year. We'll talk about Kendrick Lamar swept all of his Grammy categories 5 for 5. You know, I think things are going well for Black people. Are they not?
Yeah, in the shortest month of the year, sure, yeah.
Why do you think they picked February?
Is there a reason why?
No, I don't. No, I don't think there's an on the record reason. No.
Now, if I remember correctly, and all you history buffs, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think it started out as a week.
Yes.
And I believe when it started out as a week, it was us, Black people, who did that in the month of February. So we kind of shot ourselves in the foot by doing it in the shortest month of the year, so that when it became a month, it was, oh, well, do it in the month where they have the week.
See, is that being hypocritical though? Like you said, oh, it's Black History Month every month, but then you're complaining that it's the shortest month.
I'm standing by what I'm saying. It's just
what is it?
We should have had the longest month.
What?
You know, a month that has 31 days.
So what? 3 more days would have made you feel better?
It's just why we always get the short end of the stick. That's all I'm saying. It's always the short end of the stick. But hey, we celebrating and yeah, we've had some cool things, you know, but here lately, the way we feel during Black History Month kind of really depends on who the president is.
You think so? I didn't think about that. I mean, well, what do you mean? Because I mean, Obama's been the only Black president. So what do you mean?
Okay, well, when Obama was president, you did not see not one Black History flyer or something that didn't have Obama big on it.
Okay.
You know, it was you. We had a different type of pride because we made it to the top, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then you had Trump, and so Black History Month became so aggressive and like, not from him, I'm saying from us.
Right.
Like, because we were trying to fight back. Then you have Biden, and he had the first Black vice president. And so kind of we got lax a little bit, some more. But now we back aggressive. We protesting and boycotting and you know, it's all. So
no, I got what you're saying. So you're saying, you know, Black people lay it on a little more thick depending on who's in the White House.
Yes. So if it's a more liberal person, it's more celebratory. If it's a more conservative individual in the White House, it's more activism like.
Now, I will say, you know, while some people with President Trump ending things, doing executive orders, he did sign an executive order talking about, you know, there should be Black History, like celebrating Black History Month. What do you think I was going to say? Oh, I saw that. I was just going to play it off. That's your fault.
And see, I shouldn't have drunk it the way that I did because I was trying to be like not noticeable that I was drinking it, and I messed around and spilled it on me. That gummit. And
Well,
I'm not changing.
no one told you to wear white, so that's kind of on you. Is that white or gray? That's white, right? But I mean, so as many people, I mean, it wasn't going to happen anyway. But some people thought with Donald Trump signing so many things that he may say, "Oh, there's no Black History Month." He did not. He actually signed something in text celebrating Black History Month.
Yeah, and parts of it kind of make it seem as if he created Black History Month. If you go read it, the way it's
I read it.
worded, it's
Mhm.
like he came up with this, and is so I proclaim February to be Black History
Okay,
Month.
but you know all proclamations say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? An executive order is basically like a proclamation. It They all say that. So whatever.
Speaking of since we're talking about Trump, and I know we're gonna talk
Mhm.
about him more in a second, and then we can jump back to the Grammys. But this is what I want to know: why? Well, technically, this isn't accurate because with
So
George
you better say a lie. Continue.
George H.W. Bush, Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State, was an African American.
Hmm.
Colin
That was
Powell,
George W, not HW.
yeah, the son,
That's W, not HW.
yeah. Uh,
Colin
Colin
Powell.
Colin Powell for the daddy was Secretary of Defense. What I was about to say was in modern politics,
Hmm.
why can't, or maybe this is just on the Trump, why the only Black position is HUD Secretary?
Yeah, I mean that's a running political, unfortunate joke. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like why does only a Black person know how to run housing and urban development? It's just like you would think like if I was a president, I would intentionally make that one position not a Black person.
Right.
But then some people may say, well, maybe they don't understand, you know, um, people who are in those situations. And so you're picking someone who may have a better understanding of that situation.
I guess to be fair, to play both sides, Ben Carson, he really did grow up uh in the like projects, I believe.
Yeah, but I don't understand why a world renowned surgeon
Oh yeah.
was the head of housing and urban development.
I'm just
I
saying
could see
he
if you made Ben Carson over the CDC or,
yeah.
HHS secretary. That's different.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying
Mm.
he really did have a personal life experience with
No,
that.
yes. And I mean, that's probably the case for many Black HUD secretaries.
I don't know about this one. I don't even know his name.
He's from North Texas. He served under Trump in his first term. I forgot. Did he used to play in the NFL or
Yeah,
I'm not going.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Look,
He's from here though.
I randomly watched, we getting all off topic, but I randomly watched Texas's State of the State address
Oh,
last
look at
night.
you!
And
I'm actually interviewing the governor. Hold on, this here is Wednesday. I'm interviewing the governor Thursday.
so tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh wow. Cool. It's really not appropriate what I want to say. I have to tell
So
you
please please don't. 'Cause
yeah.
you be teetering on trying to get me in trouble. That's literally what you're doing. Like I'm on the screen with you, so you. All right.
And especially
I
since
like
you
to
know,
keep my job. Okay,
and
so
especially since you're gonna interview him tomorrow, I won't say anything.
I like to keep
Um,
my job. Thank you.
yeah, but
Now, what were your observations about the state of the state, though? So since the pandemic, and this is a good political move, he's done it not in the Capitol
that was really
since the
cool.
pandemic.
That was really cool. I'm still biting my tongue for your sake, but that was really cool.
Mhm.
It was this is not a Dow didn't show comment. This is not a Stephen Dow condoning what I'm about to say. This is just me.
Oh Lord.
It was oh not I'm saying it was really cool to do it in that location, but
What were
he's
you
just
about to
playing
say?
with people. He's
Is what?
just playing with people. That's just optics. That ain't
That's any political speech now. Come on.
I, I'm
If
saying
if Mayor Dickens in Atlanta or someone else, Raphael Warnock had a speech like that's the same thing. Like that's politics.
it was cool though. It was very well. Whoever did
Produce.
the
Yeah.
media,
Hmm.
it was on point. It was nice. It was nice.
I
And
mean, what do you think? I mean, just like a presidential State of the Union. I mean, that's What do you mean? Get oh, I really want to understand what you're trying to say.
I can't say it.
No. You said it was like what? I'm not understanding.
I guess what I'm saying is now Texas,
Mhm.
because Representative
Crockett.
yes, thank you, because
Mhm.
I was about to try and describe her so you knew who I was talking about, but that wasn't gonna go well. So yes,
You just don't. You need to better filter your brain.
No, really, it wasn't like anything crazy, but just the
Yeah,
things
but
that
you
I
were
was
going to
gonna.
say in identifying something, which is not a good way of identifying someone on a broadcast.
Yeah, but you would have known who I was talking about though. Um, Either way, Representative Crockett in
Mhm.
her one of her lives on Instagram a few days ago,
Oh, was she wearing glasses? All black and glasses, real big
mm,
glasses? No.
she had just woke up.
Oh, I thought this was in reaction to the Trump freeze stuff. Okay, continue.
Mm. This was right after the plane crashes.
Okay.
Well, crashed the one in DC.
Hmm.
Um, and she was talking about how Trump was cutting all the different things that were related to aviation.
Hmm.
And she spoke to how much aviation is in her district. And she went to talk about the two airports.
Hmm.
I can't remember the company that makes planes or something. She just said that there's more aviation in her district than anywhere else in the country. According to her, that's what she said. Nah,
Okay.
I would imagine she wouldn't have said that if it wasn't true, but I don't know. She's a politician too, just like on the other side. Either way, she was talking about the debt and how Trump does all this stuff that's really adding to the debt, but that's not
Hmm.
what he says. And she said that she had to be fair. She had to tell the truth that Texas is in a surplus and has been I don't remember the amount of time she said.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Texas is always in surplus.
so I said that to say, um, a lot of the things that Governor Abbott was saying,
Hmm.
I believe was probably true. Whereas I think a lot of other states they might do that, and everybody's state to state, you're
Oh,
gonna say
you're
all the good
talking about the
stuff.
beginning. No, all that stuff is accurate. When he said we have I believe we're eighth now, like the eighth largest economy in the world, like those type stats, those are
Yeah,
accurate. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I don't know about like I know he was saying number one state people moving here, but I mean any state like Texas, Florida that doesn't have a state income tax, people are going to move. But no, we have one of the largest economies in the world. That's
but
accurate.
here's what I need to sit down with an economist or something to
Mhm.
make this make sense. Republicans' big thing is cut taxes, cut taxes, cut taxes. Now we know that they run on a lot of other stuff, abortion and all stuff, but cut taxes.
Mhm.
Now, in order to run any organization, in order to run a state, in order to run a country, you got to have revenue. So if you cutting taxes,
They're cutting
where's the?
certain taxes.
That's what I'm getting at.
Specific to Texas. I mean, the sales tax anyone who comes in the state is paying, not just you, the homeowner.
Mhm.
He was talking about cutting property taxes.
Property
That's
tax.
been a big thing for people. There's a loophole that the counties are able to still raise
Mhm.
taxes, even though the lawmakers in Austin passed these historic quote unquote um, tax homeowner tax cuts, homestead exemptions, all that jazz.
I
Yeah.
guess what I'm getting at is a state like Texas, but this is why I for real want to talk to an economist because Texas is in a surplus.
Well, Texas is always in a surplus.
But I'm saying,
Since
where's the
I've been
money?
here.
I'm saying, where's the money coming from?
The
If
sales tax.
well, that means y'all sales tax must be high as heck.
Well, you didn't. I mean, think about it. So many people come to Texas for different events and stuff. It's not just the 31 million. Well, you can't even say 31 million because some of them are kids, but 31
Hmm.
million people live in Texas. It's not
Hmm.
just 31 million people paying the sales taxes. Anyone who does
Yeah,
business
yeah,
or
yeah.
visits Texas. And the surplus is just because the comptroller is just making an estimate of, okay, I think next year we're gonna have a $15 billion surplus, and it ended up being 26 billion this year, like from
Mhm.
last year. So it's just
So you're saying because Texas has, correct me if I'm wrong, three large cities within its state,
yeah,
whereas most states only have one, like
yeah,
one big city. If
yeah,
that, some don't even necessarily have no major
right. And then
attraction.
you have to remember, Texas bread and butter is oil.
Oil.
Like that's just like That's their bread and butter. They call it the Texas Miracle, but it's something else. But yeah, I mean, that's their bread and butter. So you just oil alone is
You,
going to
you,
make Texas have the money, and then like you said, yeah, you have Dallas, you have Houston, you have Austin, you have San Antonio. Um, I mean, yeah, and to not get into a super political conversation, but that's why some Democrats are frustrated, especially now, um, because Texas is one of two states, I believe, that meets every other year their lawmakers, which is weird to me. Um, so public schools haven't had a certain increase in the like basic allotment in a while, and Governor Abbott has been trying to push school vouchers, which he calls school choice. We'll get into that, but so with this surplus, a lot of people are like, okay, so why y'all ain't just putting a ton of money into public education? Because Texas is not even in top 25 in public education. Um,
he said
and
he said they're gonna make it number one.
yeah, um, that'll take some time. Uh, but so one of the proposals is 5 billion extra dollars to whatever they were already going to pass for public schools. Public schools, private schools, a huge fight here, like huge fight here. A lot of states have what y'all probably may be hearing about school choice. People say vouchers. Now the governor said education savings accounts. Being transparent, Mike and I went to private schools our whole life. But and I think, well, shoot, I don't know how you agree on this or not, but the conversation is why are public dollars being spent for private education? And that's what this big push that the governor's trying to get passed is basically. Oh, you know, some Republicans think your money should follow the child, but a rebuttal to that is, okay, if the money should follow the child, okay, what if I don't have a child? Then give me my money then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
if my money is supposed to follow the child, I'm a taxpayer too. What if I don't have a child? So give me that $10,000 you're gonna give a kid. But
Well, I'm gonna answer in two ways. To the
mhm,
last part about give me my money. Well, my tax dollars go to paying for police officers. Nobody, knock on wood, has broken in my house.
yeah,
So you know what I mean?
no, I understand it. But it's a definitely a different line when you're talking about something from taxpayers going to private, because
Okay, so
private school doesn't have
mhm.
the same requirements as public school. One of the lawmakers from Dallas, uh, Democrats had a press conference Monday, and m- I'm able to be transparent enough, and so I won't get in trouble saying this because I've said it on TV already. I went to private school, kindergarten through 12th grade. That doesn't necessarily mean that someone who benefited from private school is okay with public dollars going to private school, because a private school doesn't have to accept your kid. A private school, you know, doesn't have to explain why they didn't accept your kid. A public school has to take everybody. And so that's where some of the scrutiny for this proposal is public schools are funded by public dollars, not private schools being funded by public dollars.
Okay, so I got a good two things real quick. One, I can understand, you know, if a let's say a school is private, somebody who's an atheist that's paying taxes might not want
Well, I ain't
public
even talking about
money.
that, but okay.
I'm just saying public money because get into
But I
okay,
don't think it's an atheist Christian thing. There are Christians who are like, I don't think tax dollars should go to a private school who can do whatever the hell they want. There's
right.
no.
Here's my main answer to it. Now, all these, not all, but a lot of these politicians lie, so it's hard to determine what's true
Mhm,
and what's not. But I remember years ago when I was in high school, it was called Georgia Peach something.
mhm,
But basically, because we had family members, like literally us, family
mhm.
members who you would get a voucher and it would be to pay tuition at the school. The
Yeah.
way that it was explained back then, but it was explained by the right wing
Mhm,
back then, and this is how they explained it. They could have been lying. I don't know, but this is what they said. They said that they gave a number. Let's say it
mhm.
was $13,000. They said this is what it costs us to send a kid through school per
Yeah.
year. they said some private schools cost the same or less.
Mhm.
And so if you want to send your kid to a private school and it only costs 10, then we saving $3,000. We'll give you 10 to send, or we'll give you 7
Mhm.
to send your kid to the private school.
Mhm.
If they tell them the truth,
That's
from a
accurate. No,
from a,
that's
from a,
accurate.
from a financial perspective, I don't see the issue. Because
Why don't you see the issue?
if I'm gonna spend, just using this number,
Mhm.
$13,000 on your kid, what difference does it make if I spend it at a public school?
'Cause
But
you're
I know
missing
what
the point.
I know what you about to
There's a
say.
big but.
But what?
And again, I keep saying this is we are both products of private schools. So
Mhm.
it's weird that well, maybe it's not weird that you have the perspective that you have.
He trying to be funny because
Okay. Okay, listen. And I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. So I'm just talking in a scenario situation, not as Stephen. Okay. So public dollars from
Mhm.
your taxpayers
Mhm.
go to fund government things, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Which,
And
and we're
so
gonna segue into this Africa trip in a second because
so
of
the
what you just said.
so
But
the
go ahead.
so those government things
Mhm.
are those government things have to meet certain requirements. Is
Mhm.
a if you receive government dollars, you have to do this.
Mhm.
And I can only speak for Texas. Now, 30 states have some form of this already. Texas is behind the 8 ball on it. If you are holding a public school to certain standards, you got to have the in Texas the STAR test, but you got to have the STAR test. Teachers got to do this. You got to
Mhm.
do this. A public school can't say, I don't want your student to come to my school. A
Mhm.
public school can't say, I'm not going to provide transportation for your kid to get to the school.
Mhm.
And so, yes, I understand part of what you're saying as far as, oh, well, this isn't a cost saving pitch, at least from the state of Texas. So I get what you're saying in your scenario, but Texas they're not saying, oh, look, we're going to save money. No, they're
Mhm.
saying a parent should have the power to choose where the student goes. That's fine. The argument is just because you want your kid to go to private school does not mean the state of Texas pays for it. And then I'll let you talk. The second part of the argument is so Texas said they're going to prioritize low income students and special needs students, which seems like a unifying statement.
Mhm.
Basically, it's $1 billion pot. $800 million is going to go to low income and special needs kids, and then $200 million will go to any kid who's eligible after that. Now, every private school in Texas ain't like Atlanta, but you know what some private school costs are, especially you know what your parents pay for your school.
Mhm.
If the proposal is $10,000 a kid, depending on where you live, that school ain't $10,000. Depending on where you live, it might be more.
Mhm.
Also, if you're getting low income Johnny from Decatur and his public school is in Conyers or somewhere, I mean, private school is in Conyers, Johnny usually takes the bus to school.
Mhm.
Private school ain't got no bus. So how you gonna get to school? Clearly, if he took the bus to school currently, his
Mhm.
mom and or dad already don't take him to school, may not have the resources to take him to school. So there's so many other things associated with it that some people are saying, well, is it really helping the kid? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
okay, you get him $10,000. Well, if the school's $15,000, and
You
if
got to
they're
pay the
low
other 5.
income, I'm saying, okay, and then if they're income, chances are the parent can't afford the extra five.
Mhm.
Then the parents are they going to buy uniforms? How are they
Mhm.
going to get to school? Is there the same lunch plan, free and reduced lunch? Like that's what the argument is about.
I think that, and a lot of this I'm playing devil's advocate, but some
No,
of
no.
this I believe. But I think from the way that I have personally seen it happen, and
Mhm.
I'm talking literally for cousins of ours, the way that
Yeah.
I've personally seen it happen. it's not a. This is just your ticket to go to private school. At least the way that I saw it, it was almost a subsidy or it was assistance.
Like,
So
yes. And the argument is, what if that school don't like your kids' grades? So you ain't gonna get in my school.
well, then you can't go. It's
But you're not getting what the argument is.
uh
If I can go to Southwest DeKalb,
wait, and there's certain public schools that you can't get into.
yes, STEM schools, you know what I'm talking about.
But what I'm
If
saying is, what's the
if I'm
difference?
in Southwest DeKalb or Cedar Grove area, region, whatever crap you call it,
Hell, I couldn't have got in Arabian Mountain.
I'm saying Southwest DeKalb or Cedar Grove can't deny my child. If I
Mhm,
live in the whatever near the school, they can't
mhm,
deny my child from going.
mhm,
That's tax dollars paying for that school.
mhm,
On the other side, if you're
mhm.
trying to go to, is Arabian Mountain a private school?
I don't know what it is now, but no, it was
Uh,
a public school. But some of these
I'm
public
saying,
schools.
okay. So then if I live near Green Forest, which ain't got nothing to do with distance, or
Mhm,
Eagles Landing,
mhm.
they don't, even if I got this money, they don't have to take my kid.
I don't see what the issue is with that. Like you,
Really?
I'm saying it's
Are
the
you not, is it not clicking for you?
it's school choice.
No.
Your parent, but if you can't get into the school, you can't get into the school.
You're missing. Okay. I'm only going to say this one more time because people are probably going to get bored of us talking about this. Tax dollars
Mhm,
pay for public schools, right?
correct.
Okay. So
And I'm just trying to look at something, but keep going.
tax dollars pay for public schools, right?
Mhm,
You're using some of those dollars to pay for private school, which is an entity that you cannot control the standards, the requirements, the acceptance. So it's kind of like, so you're taking public dollars that are held to certain standards requirements and using them to go to a place that you cannot control. You get what I'm saying?
I
Or you
get, but
don't?
I don't know how. What with these particular funds that we're talking about, I don't know how that would work. But I know of a
What do
few
you
places. I'm about to tell you, like daycares that receive government money, even certain vouchers when it comes to like pre-K stuff, and
mhm.
they are held to certain standards. That if you receive this government money, you got to do certain things. So I don't see anything wrong with them telling a private school, if you get these vouchers, then you
But
got to
see,
have these
but see,
tests.
the proposal by Texas is we're not going to change, we're not going to require anything. Whatever
Oh.
your standards are, or your standards, whatever your standards were before, and granted, most private schools are accredited, but basically the Texas proposal is saying whatever your standards were before this passes, you can do whatever you want. That's what the criticism is. Okay,
Mhm,
well, you requiring a public school, if y'all don't do this, we're gonna shut you down or take, you
mhm.
know what I'm saying? The way the Texas law is written and why there's some criticism is because Texas lawmakers, some of them, are saying, no, we ain't gonna change nothing. We're not gonna require you, oh, okay, kids still need to test on grade level, or oh,
Mhm.
you gotta accept every kid who applies as long as they're whatever. They're not changing the requirements. And so that's why there's some.
Well, let me go on record for saying, because y'all like to come for me
No,
with
you have your opinion.
let
I just want you to know all the facts.
yeah, so let me go on record for saying I think that there should be some to Black History Month. There should be some equality in the standards between the public and private schools if government funds are being used. That's
Mhm.
I do feel that. But I think if your butt can't get in the school, then
No. And see, I think this is where we're not, where we're missing each other.
did you get a new camera? It's very clear.
No, but it looks very crisp. I just looked at. Um, no, I think this is where we're missing each other. No one is opposed to a private school picking and choosing who they want. No one
Mhm.
cares about that. When tax dollars are involved, that's when people care. Just like there was a press conference Monday, and the head of the Texas House Democrats, people were tweeting saying, "Oh, you're a hypocrite because your children go to private school and you're talking about public schools." He pays for his children to go to private school. No one cares about your parent using their money to pay for
Mhm.
the kid. The argument is tax dollars paying for a private school that, under certain states' proposals, we're not going to require you to do certain things. Whatever you did before, you can do after. That's the argument from some.
Yeah, that's a problem. Now, speaking of state funds or local funds,
Mhm,
federal funds, funds that belong to the people but that are managed by individuals, which that's everything.
mhm.
Uh Dialed in fam, do you think it is okay for, let's just say, the mayor of your city to take a trip to Africa without explanation
Mhm,
and he uses city funds to do it? $26,000
mhm.
to take a trip.
Now, if he's smart, so this incident happened in South Fulton,
Yeah.
uh, and happens to be a black mayor. uh, if you're smart, you'll come up with oh well, I went to create a sister city partnership
Mhm.
with Ghana, and I met with the whatever of Ghana, and yada yada yada. You got to come back with some facts and some
Yeah.
something, not just go. And as of this recording, I haven't heard him really explain what he did.
According to the Fox 5 article, that one that we were looking at, he won't even answer any questions.
Right. And so I think that's where it gets like, okay, like, so did you just take a vacation?
Hmm. And it would
Because
have,
you,
not to like try and help somebody commit fraud, but it, like, you, to your point, it would have been so easy for him
yeah,
to just meet with a mayor or something over there.
yeah,
And the
you
whole
could have
thing would
still
have
had a
been,
vacation, but look
yeah,
at these pictures. I met with the leader of this, and
yeah.
we're trying to we're gonna see if South Fulton can help build a school there. Like,
Mhm.
it might
Yeah.
not come to fruition, but at least you showed your work.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just weird that he hasn't answered questions
Because he's guilty.
because you're making yourself look very guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, in some people may say, well, $26,000 ain't that much, but still,
To be unexplained, that's a lot of money.
yeah. And to
Yeah.
do it, and I one of the posts on Instagram was like, the council members was just mad that he ain't invite them. I mean, and then the thing is, I would have had somebody come, my mayor
Yeah.
pro tem come with me or something like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
legitimize it.
Yeah. He could have just taken, now, of course, this would have made the cost go up dramatically, but he could have, like I said, took other people. So the
Yeah.
council, hey, let's all go. And you can do work and play at the same time.
Hmm.
So he should have made it be a business trip, a city trip.
Yeah.
Um, if they could afford it. Have you seen anything about, I cannot think, I believe it's in Michigan. It's a young African American female mayor. A lot of crazy stuff. I wish I could think of her name and tell you more information. Maybe by next week I will.
Hmm.
But she's just into a lot of crazy stuff. Um, do you think that, now, I guess in this case the city council is his oversight?
Well, it depends on the form of government. If it's a strong mayor form of government, then not. I mean, oversight, sure, but you know what I'm saying. If it's a
Mhm.
strong mayor, then he has a little bit more leeway than if it's a city manager form of government or whatever. But yeah.
Our dear brother Musk, Elon Musk, um, there was criticism and questions to our president about Elon Musk having access to like payment processing stuff, something.
Hmm.
And yesterday, President Trump said that Elon only has the ability to do whatever they allow him to do.
Hmm.
Just like this city council in South Fulton is the oversight for that mayor, do
Hmm.
we really trust Donald Trump to be the oversight for Elon Musk? Well, you can't answer that. So, dialed in fam, do y'all trust President Trump to be a voice of reason or moral, a moral compass?
I think his chief of staff Susie Wiles will get Elon Musk in enough in his lane to protect the president, because apparently reports said that the Trump's chief of staff moved Musk's office like further away from the Oval Office.
Mm. Yeah,
I don't know how accurate that is, but if true, she seems like a smart woman. She's the first woman to serve as chief of staff,
yeah.
which dovetails into DEI. Just
She's a
so
damn ooh. she's a DEI hire. She's a DEI hire.
oh my god, you be getting more in trouble than me. Uh, yes, that's the point I was trying to make. President Trump and a lot of Republicans have been like, DEI is like the flavor of the month, and it happens to be February. But I don't think some people truly understand what DEI is, or what like DEI does not mean black.
No. Even though they're using it to be the new N word, but
Yeah,
no.
but DEI does not mean black. It does not mean brown. DEI can be a veteran. DEI can be a woman. DEI can like
Governor
that.
Abbott is a DEI
Yeah,
hire.
he's not hired, but
The
okay.
people hired him.
They didn't hire him for DEI.
But I'm saying he's disabled. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I'm saying a disabled person can be DEI. Like DEI is not the color of your skin, and so yeah, a perfect example. Trump's chief of staff is a good example of a benefit of DEI, not a hindrance.
Especially because she's the first. So she's the very
Yes.
definition of a DEI hire.
Yes, and DEI does not mean that person does not meet the same merit as another person. You can have diversity, equity, and inclusion and still be good at what you're doing. Like, I'm not hiring you just because of your skin color and you suck at your job. Like, that's not, I think that's getting lost in some conversations on social media.
Because I'm going to say his comment was foolish. I'm not going to call our president foolish. His extremely foolish comments after the plane crash in DC last week, and he started bringing up DEI. Here's what people, to what you were saying, people got to understand. He makes it seem as if an airline is hiring 100 pilots and they got some quota that 20% of people got to fall into this DEI category, that they're going to require 80 of the white pilots to go to pilot school and get certifications, and then they're going to hire 20 black pilots who never flown a plane before. That is not how that works. Yeah. Those 20, they still have to go through all the same training, all the same school, if not more, some of them, because often, let's be real about it, often DEI hires are more qualified than some of our counterparts, if we want to be honest about it.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
It's not a qualification thing.
Right. I think that just gets lost. But like you said, DEI may be a dog whistle for some people in today's terms in 2025. But yeah, she's a prime example of,
and I say middle-aged white
benefit.
Yeah,
the benefit. It's not a bad thing.
Really, I think any company, any organization would be honest and say that they make more money, they have better morale when there is diversity. You don't have nothing but middle-aged white men, you are not going to be. I saw a video, is this super country white guy, and he said,
oh, is he walking along a fence with a long beard?
I think so. And he said, make sure you get some black people in whatever you're doing. He said, if you're going to work, you need some black people. You having a party, you need some black people. Whatever it is, he said, black people just make everything better. But while he was joking, it's for real. Even in black context, sometimes we need white people and Hispanic people, disabled people. Because you get different perspectives. You see things from angles that you never would have seen, and it makes it better.
Yeah. No, I agree on that. I agree on that. What is your? It's the beginning of the month. It's the first episode of February. Kick of the week. I mean, of the month.
Oh wow,
Not
they're
week.
both orange.
Yeah. I was doing, Black History Month. So Claflin, boom,
Mm-hmm.
orange, boom. I almost bought some shoes this past weekend, and I said, I got some bills to pay. I can't do that right now.
Fooling around with our president, he's trying to make these cost more.
What do you mean?
All these tariffs that he's trying to do.
Well, the art of the deal. He threatened these tariffs that were supposed to start Tuesday, and both got put on hold because Mexico agreed to put some troops on the border, which for transparency, President Biden had Mexico do the same thing. And then Canada to help strengthen the northern border when it comes to fentanyl and stuff.
But Canada's going to become the 51st state.
That's interesting. In Canada, they instantly, right before the tariff started, they started taking down Kentucky whiskeys. Like, if this would have been for the long run, they would have been boycotting alcohol from the United States.
And real quick, just because I love what 60 Minutes did, it was, at least in this piece, I don't know about everything, but it was true journalism. You're a journalist. Y'all are supposed to speak to facts and tell
Mitch McConnell or something else.
The truth. Well, Mitch told the truth in his interview with that old white lady. But
why you can't just say with that journalist?
Not because I either way. Donald Trump said that the definition of terrorist is a tax on a foreign country. The older statesman,
technically, it is.
No,
go ahead.
The older statesman-looking journalist for 60 Minutes, he said that whatever the real definition, he explained that the person or the entity that pays the tax is the importer. And he said, so if Donald Trump put a tariff on China, and Walmart was importing something from China, Walmart is who pays it, not China.
And then you pay it, the consumer. Yes.
Correct.
No. So that's why it was so people were nervous because a lot of the car parts that are made in Detroit come from Mexico. So that means car prices could go up. In the winter, the United States gets a lot of fresh fruit from Mexico, avocados from Mexico. So that means grocery prices go up. In Canada, United States get oil, believe it or not, even though we have oil here. They get crude oil from Canada, so gas prices could be affected. So yeah, the cost gets passed down to the consumer quickly, and a lot of people don't know that either. A lot of people aren't informed.
Yeah, one thing, if Donald Trump could get an award, but really his award is being president, he is the master manipulator. Or marketer, or whatever you want to say.
It's the art of the deal.
Now that I don't care if you like him or not, he can get millions and millions of people to just follow him.
You were waiting to do that, aren't you?
he can get all these people to follow him.
I always do the hands at work.
Yeah. But look, Steven's got to go and interview the famous people.
Wait. We didn't even talk about the history that was made at the Grammys. That was our last thing. Beyonce finally won Album of the Year. She also won Best Country Album. Now that's gotten some backlash from some of our lighter hue friends. Some people are saying, oh, it's not a country album, yada, yada, yada. I'm happy that she finally won Album of the Year. She's been around for about 25 years. And in the words of her husband, Jay-Z, which he said last year, how do you have the most decorated person in Grammy history and she hasn't won Album of the Year? It's crazy.
Now, help me out. She won Album of the Year for the country album.
Yes.
Here's
but
my
she
issue.
also won Country Album of the Year.
Here's my issue.
Have you even heard the album before you pontificate about this?
No, I'm not going to say anything bad about her.
No, I'm just asking. Have you
or
heard
the album? I've heard like a couple songs. I don't listen to nobody whole album. I think the only time I've done that is on those records we have that was
Mhm.
from Granny. Here's my issue. Why did she have at all to what you said, Jay-Z said, out of all her stuff, why did she have to make a country album to win the Grammy? The
So
album
some
of the year.
people, yeah. So some people are saying this was just kind of like a consolation. It wasn't about necessarily that it was a country album. It was a we effed up. All right, here you go. That's how some people are looking at it because some people are saying some of her other albums are better than this album. And
Mhm.
granted, those people probably just don't prefer country.
Right.
I mean, this was definitely a creative album. I've heard every song on it more than once. I love the song with her and Miley Cyrus. That also won a Grammy for best duo. Um, I I don't want to be conspiracy, but I do see how some people are saying this might kind of just be a constellation for them screwing her over in the past. But it was definitely creative. It was definitely she said, man, I deleted the quote, but she said genres is just a box that people try to put you in when just make music that you like, period. But congrats to her. Congrats to Kendrick Lamar, K Dot, who's going to perform at the Super Bowl on Sunday. He went 5 for 5, not like a song of the year, record of the year, music video of the year, just everything. It's crazy that a diss track won 5 Grammys. Whew,
Mhm.
man. You have no
Well,
comment. Okay, well, cool. Thanks for watching the
yeah.
Down Show. We'll see you same time, same place next week.
Bye-bye.